We're here comparing lightsabers.
Yep.
Megan didn't come back with General Kenobi.
We will. We'll let Shanti measure them all because none
What
of
kind
us
of
are
mic?
trusted.
What kind of mic do you have, Shanti?
This is a road mic, road podcast mic.
Nice.
Very nice.
I love it.
All right, let's start up. What do you say?
Real quick before we get started, I already did the intro for mine. I just need to get you guys. I just basically introduced everyone and thank you for joining me. So if you guys can say hello and all
Sounds
that
good.
stuff, then I'll just rip that into my stream.
All right.
Hi.
I yeah. Hi there.
There you go.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. Let's
So, guys,
everyone on three. Hello there. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello there.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We're such nerds, man. If you guys in the chat can see 97 Bravo dancing in the background to the countdown music, one day we gotta do like a behind the scenes like little preview thing because that is hilarious. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much. I don't know how you want to do this. So we're kind of doing a little cross promotion, cross section here, and I know Rob requested a little thing, so let's help out a brother, huh?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you can watch that Kenobi trailer that dropped today and not be instantly motivated to get online and start talking about it with good friends and fellow Star Wars nerds. I'm sure there's a lot of chat going on out there, the Twitterverse, and just in the online community in general. This has been long awaited, been delayed for quite some time due to the pandemic, but we finally got it to drop. And man, all I can tell you is based on what I've seen so far, I think it's going to be an amazing 6 episodes.
I think so too.
Definitely.
Agreed.
I was watching the Disney investor meeting, and they were talking about how wonderful the shows are going to be and how much money they're going to make and their philosophy regarding story first, which I hope is true because lately some things have been amiss, but I'm really excited. And actually, I have the video up here. I don't know if you guys want to start by just kind of getting a quick like wow, a reaction for folks that maybe haven't seen it. But oh, that's right. We're talking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer teaser tonight. Special impromptu Scarif Live with Shanti and my friends Rob and 97 Bravo. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? I am so pumped.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Are you?
Heck yeah.
There you go. That's better.
I'm not the kind of guy that like goes, woo, Elmo on fire. I get pumped, but it's a deliberate pumped. It's inside. Vader has the right notion there. It will be a day long remembered. I'm going to put that up, Vader. Thank you very much for joining us. I know you didn't join us last week on Scarif Live. We did a Batman preview. I know everybody was watching the movie, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi time. Press Play Streaming Studios is in the chat. What's up, Alan? Thank you so much for joining us. We got Melanie. Thank you very much, Melanie, for joining us. Tina. Who else is in there? The first person that was in here, Megan. Thank you so much, Megan. Megan, we got to connect because she's got a project that is going to be really cool, and we're going to help her out the way that she helped us out on the Parsec Fan Awards. Very appreciative of all of our friends and all of our followers here. Rogue Disney's in here. Lunar Girl, thank you very much for coming by. You guys have seen the trailer, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's you know what? Let's do this here. Let's pop this baby up, and do you guys want to watch it all the way through, Or do you want to stop every so often?
As many times you can, baby.
Yeah,
All
before
right.
YouTube kicks you off.
Yeah, before Sean reports us. All right, here we go. And unmute everybody. Shh. Here we go. Incredible.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. So that was pretty dope.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even get my words out. On Twitter, I basically put out that it felt more big screen to me than the trailers for Mando and
Right.
Boba Fett. It is all due to John Williams. Bless his heart. That man.
Oh yeah.
My God, when those notes hit,
Mhm.
forget about it.
Goosebumps.
And every single time throughout that trailer, when the music hits, it's amazing.
That's why I keep saying 90% of the magic of Star Wars all comes from that
Rob is
music.
muted.
Rob, you're muted.
Oh,
I know that you muted me, Ro. It's one of your Sith powers. No, I was going to say that it's really cool too, because at the beginning, the notes are from Battle of the Heroes, which is the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And then when it cuts to the intro screen for Kenobi, then we start getting the Duel of the Fates notes. And one of the things I love so much about that, I remember hearing about it back when David W. Collins was doing the Star Wars Oxygen, but that whole Duel of the Fates theme, the Korra Ratama, is from an ancient, I think it's Welsh chant that was something that he adapted because he just thought it was perfect for them. It was kind of quasi-religious and kind of gave you the feeling of being in a big temple, but he only used a portion of it that translates into under the tongue root, a fight most dread, and another raging behind in the head, which I thought was just absolutely perfect for this. We talked a little bit about it on your lightsaber episode, Ro, that Obi-Wan has been dealing with the specter of the Sith and what they've done to the Jedi and what they did to his Jedi master. And the fact that it has to be weighing on his mind ever since Qui-Gon was killed at the hands of Darth Maul. And now we get to see years later, kind of a beaten down Obi-Wan, someone who's kind of lost his faith and has been put into exile, just watching a young Luke Skywalker who he and Yoda, kind of believed to be their last hope. And the words of that ancient chant that John Williams was brilliant in selecting for something that fit perfectly with the Phantom Menace, and now it is a perfect fit for this Obi-Wan teaser trailer and the show.
And we know obviously that John Williams is conducting and creating the main theme for the show. Do we know what composer's doing the rest of the series? I'm not sure I read that yet, but initially I thought it was kind of a rework of the same music or even a temp track, but now I doubt that it's a temp track. I think it's a reworking of Duel of the Fates, obviously, as you mentioned. I think there's some bleed in there at the original part of it there. Yeah. But I don't think we always talk about the music being a character in itself, and I think there's a lot here to kind of tease out as far as themes go, as far as characterization of the music in relation to the images that we're seeing, and then also of what you mentioned, Obi-Wan Kenobi's mindset, that powerful voiceover there, those two sentences that he utters when he basically says that we lost, the fight is over. Someone said that it would be cool if he was actually talking to Force Ghost Qui-Gon, and that would be amazing.
Qui-Gon trying to rally him up,
right?
And he's like, "No, we're done.
We're done." There's also a post regarding Obi-Wan's, where we find him. He's broken. He's hidden. A lot like Luke Skywalker in the film that shall not be named. because I don't have any alcohol near me.
I can
But,
sense the truth to you if you'd like.
But we'll see what happens. I think, and you're right, Bravo. This does seem a lot more cinematic, and I love using that word, especially when Sean is listening, if he's listening. But it's there's a bigger. You can tell that the scope is bigger.
Yeah.
The attention to detail is a little bigger. The characters, but there's a lot to kind of sink our teeth into here. Shanti, what'd you think of the trailer?
I literally was crying throughout the whole thing because I am I'm kind of musically inclined, and music is usually what really gets the waterworks going. So like I
Yeah.
said, the moment I heard the music, I think the music is so important to Star Wars. I just said 90% of the magic, in my opinion, comes from the music.
Absolutely.
So every time I heard the music, I get goosebumps. I was literally getting goosebumps. The second thing that I loved, which is the scene that you just had it on, I love already how this show looks. I love that it looks dirty.
Right.
I love that it looks gritty. So I feel like this will line up so much nicer with the original trilogy, and because even the more modern looking stuff, it still look run down and it's dark, so it doesn't look too flashy like it did with Boba Fett. So I think this will be a good combo of like original trilogy and prequel.
Right now we're just looking at a frame of the show here in the trailer, but already you're right. It looks
Beautiful.
It looks like they shot it on film, where the Book of Boba Fett and even Mandalorian just seems like it's
Very digital.
very very clean, very crisp. And again,
They know not to mess with Kenobi. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but I'm just like puzzled, and I would love to know. Hopefully we'll get some behind the scenes stuff as obviously the months go by through the series. But I really want to know how they shot this. And I did read too that they're treating this a lot more than just a TV show. They're treating this like a movie. And originally it was a movie. It was supposed to be a kind of a spin-off movie. They truncated it to 12 episodes, then 8, and now we're getting 6. So I'm it scares me a little bit, but I'm really hoping that in the interim, when they kind of stopped working on it, when they announced that all the scripts were done, but then all of a sudden they just stopped because they wanted to rework some things. I really hope that they reworked the story and fine-tuned all of the story that they're going to be telling us. But already, like you said, it looks fantastic. Dirty, gritty. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt that they brought back Joel Edgerton to play Uncle Owen. And I completely agree. I hope that these episodes are closer to an hour.
I heard that they are.
Yeah, I would totally believe that. And honestly, I'd rather have a 6-episode series as opposed to a film, because it gives you that much more, that much more runway to tell the story. And if they're going to bring the Inquisitors, and we'll get into that as we kind of get into the trailer a little bit, into this live action Star Wars universe, they're going to need 6 hours to inform the casual fans about the Inquisitors and kind of how that fits into the storyline that they're telling with Obi-Wan.
Absolutely. So here's a shot of Obi-Wan in a cave, hiding out.
What is that next to him?
I don't know. I was trying to think of that too.
It's a water bottle, I think. He's got a backpack that's over on the rocks to his left, and he's got a water bottle. And you can actually see out in the distance the
Homestead,
the
Lars Homestead. Yeah. So this is
So this is the Kenobi.
Obi-Wan being a creeper.
Yeah.
I did get a laugh out of I watched the Drunk 3PO. He did a little bit of a reaction trailer, and he saw young Luke kind of sitting on the edge of the Owen homestead there, bouncing up and down, acting like he was a young Anakin in his pod racer, and said it looked like he was doing like a bantha, right? So,
right, yeah.
God forbid Cam Ray goes anywhere with that, but you can always.
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will.
It's like poetry; it rhymes.
It is.
But here's young Luke. Looks just like him.
pod racing.
You know, it's obviously I think we when we were hearing rumors of all of this production, you know, we obviously heard rumors of casting. They were doing a casting call for a young lad to play Luke Skywalker. Obviously, I don't think that there were many surprises in this trailer. What is that? The video that we saw a couple of months ago regarding the a little bit of the behind the scenes teaser of Kenobi. We saw the actors practicing with lightsabers, and we realized, you know, who can that be during this time frame? Probably Inquisitors. So we have Inquisitors. You know, it's been a long time coming. Like I said, there's nothing really that surprised us, narratively speaking, of the things that we saw in this. Although, you know, there's some new characters that will, you know, as we scroll through that we're going to get into, which are going to be cool. But I'm going to ask you guys, you know, for us that have seen Rebels and have seen the animated shows, you know, a lot of the concept of these characters, the Inquisitors, are we are no strangers to them. But I'll go down the lane here. What did you guys think of bringing the Inquisitors into the storyline? Shanti.
Well, having just watched Rebels, finally finished, and Clone Wars, so close to this, I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was really excited to see that. So I think that's going to be a really interesting. Again, my only problem, as always, is the timeline. So I'm trying to figure out at what point this is, because is this close to the episode of Rebels that I saw when, spoiler alert, I guess, when Maul actually finds him, because he doesn't look old enough. So I'm trying to figure out like what the timeline is right now.
9 years before Star Wars.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I
For
wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's
And
what I wanted to know.
Rebels butts up. What is it? Right up against it, doesn't it?
It's right up against it by the time
Yeah.
Rebels ends. So I mean, it's within probably
The
a
three
year
or
or so.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah.
All right, that's what I wanted to know.
So this
Yeah,
ends, and then 5 years later, Rebels begins.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
More or less. What do you think of the new treatment of the Lucasfilm logo? It's a different color than what we're used to, and it's got a nice little sand treatment.
Oh, I love it,
Yeah.
Everything's
because we
about
can never get enough sand.
Yeah.
the Sand trilogy.
As it gets obliterated, it gets everywhere
Yeah. Just destroys the logo.
to what has got to be Fortress Inquisitorius on the planet or on the moon of Nur, which actually is a moon in the Mustafar system. So it's really really interesting that, you know, Vader, who basically oversaw the Inquisitorius for Palpatine, really kept them close to him. And you'll notice a lot of the Inquisitors tend to have a lot of armor on, and in some cases look like they've been pretty banged up. And Vader was a pretty harsh taskmaster. So cool to see this planet, which actually I know 97 Bravo you are a fan of from the Jedi Law, or not Jedi Lost, I'm sorry, the Fallen Order video game.
Oh yeah.
Where we got to see this particular. I have to assume this is the same locale that we get to in that Jedi or Fallen Order video game. It's awesome to see that brought to the big screen.
Oh yeah, I think the underwater, unless, again, like we said privately, unless it's a different planet, which I don't think it is, because the Obi-Wan show takes place 4 years after 5 years after
After the
Revenge of
events of
Sith.
Fallen Order.
Yeah, Fallen Order. I'm sorry, I'm getting everything confused. Damn timelines. It's almost like
That's all right. At least you're
See?
naming it correctly.
Not just me.
but this takes place 5 years after Fallen Order, so the damage would have been repaired.
Sure.
So that I'm seeing that one shot, this and then the other one. Yeah, I'm curious to see how closely related or how intertwined what occurred in Fallen Order is going to show up in the Kenobi series.
And
I wanna
I
put-
love that. Oh, sorry, Ro. I just love that they're bringing over and tying in that Jedi Fallen Order video game, because it was the storyline of that game was so high quality and so in line with what we love about a good Star Wars story. And
really
Cal
was.
Kestis, the character, is someone I would love to see in a live action Star Wars at some point. Certainly, we got to see BD1 in
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian in the scene where he was having his new N1 starfighter built by Pelimato. So, it's cool to see some of those characters brought in, and certainly BD1 is an awesome droid character. But yeah, the Inquisitors, I did an entire show on the Inquisitors just because I love them so much, and to see them in live action is just insane.
It was cool. The translation from cartoon to live action is much more difficult than going from live action to cartoon.
Sure.
And so I think a lot of the crap they're getting, it is because you're trying to determine who that looks closest to. And
Right.
I think they did a good job. I think the shock of especially the Grand Inquisitor looking sharp, his face looking
Chunky.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
completely different, like a completely it wasn't an exaggeration like they did with Dooku that made him ridiculously they were like taking something and like exaggerating it. That wasn't what this was. This was but I don't know. I'll like to see it because who was the brother with the hat? Was he
The
He's
green?
the
fifth brother?
fifth brother. Yeah.
Fifth brother. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't look anything close to the animated version as well. But I wanted to, while we're on this frame, I wanted to point out some details here which are really cool. You can't see it in this screen, but on the YouTube screen that I have full screen, up on top there are some TIE fighters that are hanging there. There are some other Imperial fighter ships. I do notice, which is kind of interesting, I do notice a Tidarium class shuttle, a Lambda class Imperial shuttle, which is parked right above here, which is really cool. And obviously, we know who's running the show over here during this time. So I'm really excited to see a little bit more of this scene. I'm wondering if this is the Grand Inquisitor going to see his boss. That would be really cool.
It could be, and I love the point you make about the TIE fighters. I hadn't even noticed that when I watched it through.
Yeah.
And one of the cool features about those TIE fighters that the Inquisitors used in Rebels primarily was that they were very much kind of a derivative of that TIE Advance that Vader flew. Kind of more rounded wings, but they had those folding wings
Right.
that were very similar to what we saw with Moff Gideon and Mando. So it would totally make sense that they'd be hanging there in case they had to strike out on a mission of their own.
I'm already impressed with the production.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
scenes look so beautiful.
It's handled
Although,
But I'm waiting for the bitching already.
well, this one probably was directed by J.J. Abrams because I see a little lens flare that's happening over here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no.
But
Looks
here
like
is
Pinhead.
Grand Inquisitor himself, actor Rupert.
Hellraiser. Friend.
Yeah. But there's already talk on the Twitterverse about the dissatisfaction of the look of the Grand Inquisitor.
There you go.
I think his
And-
acting. I think he's gonna blow him away. To tell you the truth, I think that particular actor can own that role, and again, it depends on the material. But I think he can stand out and make that role or make that character his own.
I just think people need to stop nitpicking.
Look, I mean, the bottom line is, as you were mentioning earlier, it's very difficult to translate from a
I only
cartoon.
do so much.
Yeah, and if you look at the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels, yeah, he does have that gaunt, really long face, but he does have the bulging, top to his head, and
Right.
it fits here. It's just you can't find someone who has a head that is shaped like that, and they would have to.
Wait, they didn't call you?
No, I mean, I have the round head. I don't have that narrow lower part. So despite the fact that I was hoping that they would put a call out for a plus size Grand
Yeah.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor.
I just think these are the kinds of things that shouldn't be nitpicked on. It's like the Cad Bane thing all over again. He wasn't skinny enough. He wasn't blue enough. Who cares?
I thought Cad Bane was
He was still
perfect.
imposing.
I love
I
Yeah.
thought
that.
he was wonderful.
He was the best part of that show.
He was like
The
that's
Cad
the
Bane
stuff.
stuff
Like
was
get
ridiculous.
over it. Because
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah, no, I
Bravo.
didn't.
It's not going to look exactly like the animated series. I mean,
But I think even
it's
with
an
Cad,
exaggeration.
right? Exactly. But I think even with Cad, it totally was like that. You knew it was him. That's the only
Yeah,
point you're trying to make.
And
with
that's
this.
it. That's all I needed to know.
Right.
I knew exactly who it was as soon as he lifted his head and you saw the face under the brim of his hat.
When he
That's
was
all I
walking
cared
across
about.
the desert, I was.
I already knew who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, here he comes.
I want to ask.
Me?
I'm going to ask Rob because Vader's got a really good point there regarding the Grand Inquisitor. If you remember the line when he fell to his demise when he was, I forgot what episode, what show was that? Clone Wars or Rebels?
No, it was
When he-
Rebels. It was in his battle toward the end of season 1
Yeah,
there. With
he says
Kanan.
odds are that we'll see what caused the Grand Inquisitor to prefer burning alive to reporting his failure to Darth Vader. That's going to be interesting. I think obviously with the original trilogy and some of the stuff before, the concept of the Inquisitor, we never thought that Vader would have any help, but I think this is really exciting. I think this is kind of a cool thing for Vader to have done, to be able to dispatch some dark disciples to find, some hidden Jedis and hidden Force sensitives. I think it's probably the best way to go about it, especially if they are spread throughout the galaxy. I think this is going to be pretty amazing. Again, my only fear is that they don't water it down because it's Disney, and I'm hoping that. We'll get to that scene later on when you see somebody hanging, but I think it's going to be really great to see how far these Inquisitors will go to bait Obi-Wan Kenobi and any other Jedi they might be out there that may or may not be part of this story.
I mean, the thing about the Inquisitors, it's kind of like the conversation we had about bleeding lightsaber crystals in the episode. I think you're putting it out tomorrow.
Which, yes, by the way,
Yeah.
tomorrow, make sure that you listen to our lightsaber episode. We talk about that. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
But the thing about the Inquisitors is it makes perfect sense from what we know of Palpatine and what we know of Vader, that they would have this basically kill squad of
Right.
Force-trained individuals that are probably brought up to a level that's still short of Sith. But, from the storylines that we see, the comics, the stories that we see within both Clone Wars and Rebels, we know that Vader was pretty brutal with how he trained these Inquisitors. He was not opposed to lopping off a body part here or there to teach them a lesson, and so and in a lot of cases these were Jedi who had been corrupted and brought to the dark side. So you end up with Palpatine, who from a purely vindictive perspective, it wasn't just one thing for him to eliminate the Jedi altogether. For him to corrupt a Jedi would have been kind of his ultimate victory, turn them to the dark side. And then from Vader's perspective, to have other Jedi who had fallen to the dark side probably gave him a feeling like it wasn't just him, right? And then to turn around and be lopping arms and legs off of them to teach them a lesson, again bringing them kind of more in line with the creature that he had become. So I love the idea of the Inquisitorius. It's a huge galaxy. Vader can't track down every lead. The Emperor's busy working the long game, and to have these agents of chaos out there that could track down these leads, and then if whoever they track down turns out to be too difficult for them to deal with, Vader sweeps in and cleans up the mess.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the comics too.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to ask about the Inquisitors, what do they think is going to occur once they've purged the galaxy of Jedi? Do they think they're just going to Vader's just going to let him go? I mean, was there a sense of Sith betrayal at the end of that relationship, do you think?
No, and I don't think they were. I don't. Rob can correct me, but I don't think they were Sith. I think the for the most part, the Inquisitors are fallen Jedi that were basically turned, manipulated, et cetera, because we have that story thread where the Jedi Temple guard unmasks himself, and it's
Right.
and it's him. It's,
It's
just,
the Grand
it's at least
Inquisitor.
right. So I don't know. I mean,
They never really approach it within anything canon with
Right.
regard to what they think the long game is, but certainly, they think that if they complete their mission and everything they do is gaining more power for them, eventually they're going to unseat their master. And I know that the
Right.
the party line for the Sith is always two. There are master and apprentice, but the fact is that we always saw, even with Sidious, he always had more going for him than just his apprentice long game, and it wasn't just two. They always had a fallback plan, and Vader certainly wouldn't have been opposed to making sure that he had someone, Grand Inquisitor, or maybe any of the Inquisitors who kind of rose above the others, that he could partner up with to overthrow the Emperor, and then they would be his apprentice. So I think it all just kind of went with that Sith mindset that ultimately you're going to gain enough power where you're going to overthrow your master and take up that mantle.
Do you think that this would be a perfect platform to introduce Starkiller?
I wish they would. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think they can do it. It's certainly not in this season. I mean, they have enough runway with Kenobi where they've got 5 years to play with. They could certainly do that. They could work their way through the Inquisitorius and bring in a Starkiller character, which I thought he was awesome from a video perspective and a story perspective. But I'm not holding my breath on Starkiller.
I think both those storylines were far superior than anything we've seen from Disney so far.
Right,
the Starkiller line and then Fallen Order. Those are fantastic stories.
We're coming up on a couple of shots that, if I'm not mistaken, our friend Yoshi Vu worked on. I think this is the last project that he worked on at Lucasfilm. And this shot in particular, I think I saw a post from him earlier today saying that these are some of the final shots that he worked on. So that is really cool. He kind of kept it hush-hush. He was telling me that he was working on something for the streaming service, but besides the MCU, I'm like, wonder what you're working on.
Are we going to be able to put together a Red 5 slush fund and get him out to Sheriff Con?
Yeah, it's the phone call's been made.
I love it.
So here we are. The looks like the fifth brother and someone in the background there. We this character here, the name of her character has been announced, and I can't remember what that is.
Inquisitor Reva or Riva.
Yeah.
Which is
And
interesting, right? Because all the Inquisitors are known by a brother or sister designation. So she's
unique in that way. I want to point something out here, and chat. I hope you're listening, and I hope you're still here. Early on, before all of this, we had some production artwork that some concept production artwork that had Darth Vader sitting in a throne in the middle of this structure here. So I'm wondering if this scene, they're all talking to Vader and getting orders.
That could be. Erased him like they did in Spider-Man.
There's like a hologram there.
Yeah, there's a hologram there. Obviously, this structure here, looks like Vader's temple on Mustafar.
Yep.
So this could be, something. The other thing too, talking about the game, you guys were talking about an underwater area here.
Yeah.
So that's obviously. And then it's just something about just seeing stormtroopers outside of the original trilogy always gets me, man. It's I was watching Rogue One last night, and the stormtroopers on Jeddah City and the tank trooper, and it gets me super excited. I love seeing stormtroopers, you know, modern in modern movies, and this is gonna be fantastic. You know, obviously we are imperially motivated around these parts here on Scarif, but it is something really cool, and it's an image that will always stay embedded deep in my brain. Star Wars, stormtroopers, and that sort of thing. But I love this little office. When I hit the lottery, I'm gonna make a little corner office just like this.
Well, I'll tell you from a security standpoint, if I was just looking at the shot, that's Vader's ante room right behind. So the stormtroopers are there to protect Vader, I'm assuming, or guard Vader. So that's his little office back there. This is the conference room. But yeah, I could see that. Like seeing the stormtroopers because I don't know if the stormtroopers what are they guarding? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way out.
Well, perhaps.
If Vader is only communicating to them through a hologram on this table, then that could just be the way out, their escort. But who knows?
True.
Why do you think they would even digitally remove an image of him? We know he's in it.
It's too early.
What do you think the purpose? What do you think the purpose of that is?
It would be. Go ahead, Rob.
I don't think we're gonna get Vader and Obi-Wan scene. I don't think they're going to be together in a scene in the show. And I say that for one reason. They're going to have a major issue to deal with if they put Obi-Wan and Vader kind of face to face in this show, primarily because of Obi-Wan's words or Vader's words when they meet on the Death Star in A New Hope, right? You know, when I left, I was but the learner, now I'm the master. And that's referring specifically to their duel on Mustafar. You know, Vader, you could argue that Vader suspected that maybe Obi-Wan was still flitting around in the galaxy when he mentions to Tarkin that, you know, I sent something that I've not, you know, sent since my old master. But I can see Vader here directing the Inquisitorius. I can see Vader and the Inquisitorius getting very close to capturing Obi-Wan without necessarily knowing specifically who he is. But in order for the storyline and the films to kind of hold up, and I don't think you want to mess with, especially the show that started it all, I have a hard time believing they're going to come face to face. Now, I can definitely see Vader coming face to face with Ahsoka in that series.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't think they were going to do face to face either. My question is, we know Hayden Christensen was cast. We know he's going to be in the Kenobi show.
And we know he's going to be in the suit.
What is the point of digitally removing him from the trailer is what I'm saying.
Well, it's
not a surprise.
I know. Well, it's not a surprise, but I think as far as
that's what I'm
how
getting
much
at.
how much information they're giving out at any time, we're being introduced to 3-4 different characters here. Vader would take away from that because we focus just on Vader. I'm assuming. And, so
this could be a shot like right after he turned off the imager,
too. Right?
But it wouldn't make sense. I think they are, they're either talking to each other or the scene with Vader, if there is a scene with Vader here, happened already. But I want to get back to what Rob was saying about, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. There is obviously some internet talk about that, and a lot of people are going to be upset. And Kathleen Kennedy already said this is going to be the rematch of the century. The Entertainment Weekly cover art says rematch of the century. There's no other reason to cast Hayden in a Darth Vader suit in an Obi-Wan Kenobi show if they aren't going to rematch of the century. And I know that's controversial, but I think a cleverly written, thoughtful line somewhere in the show, if they do rematch, could make it work.
Right. We'll meet again someday, kind of thing.
They can have a rematch and
still have much to learn, Anakin.
Right.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Obi-Wan can say, you still have much to learn, and then he leaves, and Vader's like, oh yeah, I do have a lot to learn. Okay, see ya.
I love when Red goes into an accent.
Still.
It's got to be done carefully though, because you're right.
Yeah.
People are going to get pissed off because you're messing with the OT. But I feel that, again, a clever writer, if you're writing something well and thoughtful, then it could work.
It could, and I mean,
cast
ultimately. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Bravo.
No. I was just going to say, why cast Hayden if he's not going to take his mask off? So my thought was that if it's going to be the rematch, maybe it's some sort of force dream or some crap.
Well, and I
Yeah, that
did
could
read.
be as
I
well.
did read that they
Yes,
are
I-
going to de-age Hayden because they're going to be giving us some, Clone Wars flashbacks as well.
Some
He's
brotherly
not
stuff.
that old.
No, I know he looks the same.
Or
Jeez.
he's got to look
He's been
what,
farming up
20.
in Canada. What are you talking about?
He's got to look in his 20s. Not
He probably
40s.
looks like he's
He'll
70
be under
now.
makeup anyway. He's burnt to a crisp. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fantastic. I think the person on the left is actually looking at the woman who's standing up, the new character.
That
Yeah.
could be. Yeah,
Well,
it's the
and
angle.
if
We
we can
can't
go
tell.
back to that scene real quick in the Inquisitor conference room, I would not be surprised if the female Inquisitor that's sitting at the table is actually the seventh sister without her helmet on.
On the left,
Always see the seventh sister and the fifth brother together in the animated series,
Why didn't
but
they
this-
cast a large woman?
or Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No, isn't the seventh sister that huge the
No.
huge one?
that was
No. That's the ninth. That's the ninth sister. She's the
she's
meat
dead.
beast.
Yeah, and she's dead.
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that was a Jedi Fallen Order casualty.
Oh yeah. And you know what? I see. I
was
was
a
missing. I was missing the Imperial cog symbol on all the Inquisitors because I'm used to it in the animated show. I do see it on her right shoulder. If you zoom in,
Yes.
you can see it. So that's fantastic.
The other thing that's interesting is I didn't think that the Inquisitor Riva character had a typical Inquisitor lightsaber in the trailer here a little bit later when she's facing down whoever that is she's chasing in kind of the marketplace. It looks like she just has a kind of
Regular?
a narrow hilted lightsaber, very similar to what we saw from Starkiller. But when I kind of went through those scenes slowly, it does have the half moon on one side, and in the animated series we see that half moon flips out into a full circle, and then the lightsaber will rotate. So we see the fifth brother wearing the circular version of it on his back. I think she wears it kind of in the half moon configuration.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we are back on Tatooine because this scene
This is
is
bleak.
part of the Uncle Owen reaction scene. But yeah, this looks pretty. Again, this goes to show you the lengths that the Inquisitors are going to kind of bait the Jedi. The voiceover early on says you cannot change the Jedi. Their personality. They'll, I guess they're using their loyalty to help as a weakness to try to bring them out, and I think that's great. I think that totally goes in line with what Vader would do at all costs to find these Force sensitives. So that's pretty good. And
Real quick, now, do
Yeah.
you guys think that this character, you see the crowd looking at someone, the boots kind of hanging down?
Yeah.
My take on it when I saw it originally was that possibly this Inquisitor Riva had basically been holding him up and force choking him. My
Oh.
wife's take on it was that he was actually hung, which there's
I would say hung too.
that
Yeah.
Star Wars. I see it. I see it more now. But certainly it's meant to prod the crowd and figure out where the compassion lies, right?
Yeah,
Tina, Tina,
Tina, I
Tina, go
swear.
get a drink of water.
Lord.
Go get it. Everybody looks dehydrated. I would put some comments up later, but right now, if I do, I'll hide Rob's face.
No. I have to say that Tina is a perfect fit for the Red 5 TikTok dance house.
Absolutely.
July
It's going to
in
happen.
Sarah-
It's going to happen. So again, right shoulder, she's swinging it away, but I see the Imperial symbol, which always makes me giddy as a schoolgirl.
Oh my.
Costume is really cool.
Yeah, I like the.
I wonder if she's in training to be an Inquisitor, and that her character will actually grow as an Inquisitor,
Could be.
rather than like this is her mission to prove that she's an Inquisitor or something.
Yeah. Could
I'm
be.
so happy they brought him back. That's so great.
Yeah, he is such a great actor. I've seen him in some other work, and I'm so
he is.
happy that they brought
So
him
many
back.
memories.
Yeah.
Lars still has that damn bad haircut.
Well,
They
there's
did
not a
that
lot
like-
of great barbers on Tatooine. I
Yeah.
do love so this rooftop scene where she's kind of looking out over whatever city this is, and this definitely looks off-world from Tatooine. But you get this ER in Orabesh, so it's like she's on top of a hospital,
Mm.
which could come in handy when you got an Inquisitor after you.
I think it's
Right.
Nar Shaddaa.
It has that look. It has that look to it. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
There were some shots that we'll see here in a second that I was like, maybe it's someplace we haven't seen before, but it looks a lot like.
Did you guys read the Entertainment Weekly
Republic.
article?
That's
Yeah.
reading. What's that?
Because I think they did announce the name of the planet that is this shot. I don't know what it is.
Did they? Oh, I didn't think they did.
I thought they did, yeah. Oh, they're in front of the CNN building.
I do have to tell. So in this shot, so they shift the viewpoint of Inquisitor Reva on the roof, and this kind of lime green hologram sign in the background. I laughed when I saw it because it says milk.
I love that we have a resident Arabesh reader, fluent. It's
Sickness.
awesome.
They're just messing with
I will.
us now.
I will tell you, when we get to the fifth brother walking down the street, I have a huge beef with all the signs because while they look awesome, they say either market or snacks, and there's I think 3 signs that say market and 2 signs that say snacks, and I'm like, come on.
Oh, you know what? Vader has a great point. I made a joke about CNN, and James Earl Jones does the intro to the CNN app when you launch CNN.
Yeah.
And
That's
all
right.
the station IDs. So great catch, Vader. This is CNN. So I love this ship, and we get obviously some Imperials debarking the ship. Oh, this is
now
what's
you
her
got me-
name? What's she was announced. All the actors were announced. They had the boxes of all the actors that are appearing in this film, and this is she
And
was
none of
in
them are dominant votes.
she was in Game of Thrones with Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She
Yep,
was one of the.
that's right.
The sand snakes. Or
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
She was Pedro Pascal's sister on the show, but also lover.
Sister lover. Yes.
Yes.
What's wrong with that, Shanti?
What show was that? Game of Thrones?
What?
All right, here we go. There's
Orabesh in the background saying Hoss. I have no idea what the hell that means.
Is that Constable Zuzo on the left there?
Zuvio.
Zuvio?
Susu Studio.
No,
close,
there's
man.
a
You gotta
guy
get
here
points.
wearing a derby hat.
And is that Danny from Comics and Cosmetics with a new hairdo and some fly makeup on the right side?
I think it is.
That looks like some salt and pepper hair right there.
There's a stormtrooper tending
huge
bar in the
flashback.
background.
Like that? No,
I'm
he's DJ.
I'm flashing back to that
Please, not
scene.
another mod squad.
I'm flashing. No, God, no. No, I'm flashing back to that milk sign earlier, and it was green, right? So are they saying they prefer the green over the blue milk in Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah.
But that is salt and pepper's puff.
It is salt and pepper stuff.
Push
Just
it
saying.
real good.
Here's Obi-Wan is kind of watching from afar, and again, I don't think this is Tatooine.
No.
No.
Tatooine.
Okay. Tattoo?
Tatooine.
So,
Nah, Nar Shaddaa.
Very classic Obi-Wan pose, though, right?
yeah.
He's got
Yeah. Is that a
the hood
Bajoran in the
pulled.
front?
It is.
Yeah. That's
Crossover.
that's Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear lord!
It's a Star Trek reference, General Shinobi.
Sorry. I'll catch up.
All right.
All right, so this
Oh,
droid,
ass shot.
yeah, right.
Goodness.
This droid is so derivative of K2SO. It's like a early model Imperial security droid.
What does it say on his shoulder?
Oh God,
Droid.
no, it's,
yeah.
no, it's like Nide.
NID.
And oh no,
that would
it's
be
Ned.
Nid.
No, Ned. It's Ned.
Hello, my name is Ned. You're under arrest.
What it says. NED.
So let me just point something out real fast. All the props that we have seen, all the background characters and droids like we're watching now, there's no mopeds. I don't see any mirrors hanging off the side
Not
of
one.
anything.
Good.
Thank you, Lucasfilm, for listening.
This droid almost looks like K2SO when L3 from Solo: A Star Wars Story had a baby.
Could
I
be,
can
yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
She's too sassy.
They consummated.
Yeah. No, they wouldn't. You're right. She's too. It's a credit card droid because of the slot in the front. You just.
Right.
Okay.
It only takes chip. Yeah, it only
Pay for
takes
parking.
All right. So what's going on here?
Another ass shot.
TK ass. But what are they?
Oh my God! Did Schumacher come back from the dead? Oh no!
Wait. So here's something interesting. I'm gonna play this sequence, and I want to ask you guys: do we think? God, you guys are so juvenile.
Shut up, bro.
I'm sorry. They're doing a show, Shanti. Let's be quiet.
My bad.
I can't use any of this.
And mute.
I want to ask you guys this. Do we think that this stormtrooper in the foreground here is Obi-Wan disguised? Because the next shot obviously is his ass, but he's holding something.
Go back to his ass.
And
That
later
could
on we see what I thought was the same stormtrooper facing off the Inquisitor here. But we got a really cool shot of her running and jumping. We'll get back
in disguise.
Look,
yes.
A lot of these scenes are from the same
Episode.
chunk of an episode. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that they're clearly pulling from kind of Obi-Wan looking over the Lars homestead, and then there's a bunch of stuff they're pulling from whatever this sequence is in Nar Shaddaa or wherever the heck this planet is. But we're getting a pretty limited look at the overall story, I think.
Yeah, this shot confuses me because
Doesn't confuse me.
Easy.
I have a stormtrooper outfit, and I wish Todd were here, and that's not what a stormtrooper ass looks like. It's missing a butt plate.
I dig it.
Maybe it's a prison planet.
Whoa. Sorry about
Whoa! Tell your mom to back off a little. Tell her to wait.
She's so upset with you.
I don't know. All right, let's keep going here.
Cool.
All right.
Man, I want one.
Helicopter
fly
lightsabers.
away?
Helicopter
Fly away.
lightsabers. What's your verdict? Shanti, helicopter
want one.
lightsabers.
I want one.
Bravo.
I don't know.
I mean, it's right here. It's right here.
I know.
It's not right here. This is a spinning lightsaber. It's not a helicopter lightsaber. There's nothing about a spinning lightsaber that generates lift. I call BS.
There you go.
I was
I
yeah.
really want to know who they're looking at because this guy has enhancements. You're talking about mopeds. Look behind that dude's ears.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm looking at a different screen than you guys.
Is
look
that
at.
a Bud Light sign? The neon behind him? It is.
Yeah,
Cool.
It is. No, it's I think it's the Keen shoes. Vader is on fire in chat, by the way.
Stormtrooper pooper.
Or a
TK
skid
for
plate
you.
depending
Yeah.
on what he ate recently. That
That's
was
right. If he had Taco Bell, it's all blown out.
All I know is that we can't have Vader and Tina
In
around
the
each
same
other
room. I
at
know.
all.
Wait,
But
they're not in the same building, are they? In Chicago.
They're in the same chat, so
In the
No, I
same
mean,
chat,
like-
but bad enough.
oh no, V. Okay, hold on. Let's
Nice
keep
reference
going here.
there.
I do have to mention that there will be a spirited game of Cards Against Star Wars in our house at ScarifCon this year.
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
And
I'll bring the
given the
I'll bring
people
the
that are going to
wine.
be around, it's going to be an evening for the ages.
Very cool. This is why I thought it was Nar Shaddaa. Because it's
Yes.
very, very non-Tatooine-ish, and it,
Yeah.
to me, the most iconic non-Tatooine-ish planet in
Yeah.
lore that I've seen
The-
is Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, as you're looking
course.
at the fifth brother walking down this street, that sign, the sign in the forefront on the right in orange is the milk sign on the front of that building. And then literally every other sign you see is snacks or market.
That's awesome.
I'm guessing this is Star Wars Tokyo.
That is what it looks like.
Yeah, totally.
It's very Asian inspired.
Well, in the Old Republic, Nar Shaddaa has that feel to it as well.
Very nice. I love that everybody's looking. They have everyone's attention. The fifth brother
Wanna
is
know
going
what
to get
those
some
droids
snacks.
I love that
Are
Rod
they
is letting you know
droids?
where to get a snack.
Are they
They-
droids or are they
Hello.
almost like ATM machines that are in the middle of the street?
They're hot dog.
I don't know. I mean, certainly there's a similarity between the two. I don't know if they're like, I don't know, street posts or something.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
They've got a little graffiti there to the right of the stormtrooper and between the man and the stormtrooper.
So
Shanti's
happy to
thirsty.
see a gritty Star Wars.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in on it? I'll read it for you.
It's not
I
quite
love
Blade Runner-ish either. I mean, it's similar.
Yeah, it gives me that Blade Runner vibe. I
Mhm.
But I love the floor. The
yeah.
ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I
If it
love
was-
I love the wires that go back and forth too.
Yeah.
Again, it's very urban, very getting back to George's concept of the Star Wars world being a world that's real and used and beat up.
Mhm.
Love it.
Me too.
Who let worst code in the chat?
Who is it?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Charles
What's
worst.
up, Charles?
Sir Charles.
Sir Charles. All right, let's keep going here. What ship is that?
Who plays the fifth brother?
Some guy.
It's
An actor.
it's Wong from
That's the It's
Doctor
okay.
Strange, right?
Is it?
No.
No, it's
No.
not. It is a
Looks like it right there. That's, had me fooled. What's that dude's? Oh,
Sung Kang is his name.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's this guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
oh, right.
And
Okay.
he's the one that was shown practicing lightsaber battles, and he spilled in an interview. He spilled the beans a little early. He says, I can't wait for the Kenobi series. My character uses a lightsaber, and everybody's like, "Woo!"
Well, he's the David Prowse of Kenobi.
Let's see, where do you?
And if you understood that reference, kudos.
Okay, so these look like two escape pods,
Great
or
pods, for sure.
yeah. Here we go. You're right. I never
Yeah,
noticed
you
the little
see
curve
that half
thing.
moon on her blade?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I missed it at
And-
first. You have to pause at just the right point because it
Mhm.
completely is obscured when she finishes.
She
Yeah.
turns it, yeah.
And
So,
I'm guessing
I'll
this
be
is the guy that they
interested to see-
hang.
Yep,
Probably.
I think you're right.
I'm just here for a snack.
That's what it said on the sign.
Do you think this
Right.
individual is interfering with it, or has information on a Jedi, or is actually a Jedi or Force sensitive? Because it looks, if I'm not mistaken, it looks more like a child than an actual man.
I
Oh,
think it's
he's-
just somebody they're gonna make an
Yeah,
example of.
man to
he's
me, but-
kneeling. He's
Yeah.
kneeling. because the shot starts out with her flipping over a table, so I'm assuming that he was either running or also flipped over something, and he spun around. She spun around, because on Tatooine they do a lot of spinning, so they.
Of course. Like the bike it. What were they? The mopedist or whatever. But the reason I'm asking
Breakdancers.
is because Fallen Order does a great job of setting up a list of force sensitive children
Mhm.
that are
Yes.
still out there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I was making that leap was
That's in
are
the,
they
that's in
chasing
the comics.
a bunch
That's
of
in the
preteens?
comics as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vader basically breaks into a section of the Jedi Temple archives that has a holocron that basically has all the names of force sensitive children in the galaxy, and then the the Empire and Sidious himself has a list of all the Jedi that are still out there. And Jocasta knew the Temple archivist was at the top of the list because he knew that she had access to that list of all the force sensitive children.
Mm.
So it's interesting. It almost makes me wonder if this is the same guy they're chasing through the Nar Shaddaa type city. He may be a Jedi that had escaped the Purge, and they don't manage to capture him there. But then they track him down to potentially Tatooine, and that's where she catches him and potentially executes him. So I'll be interested to see because it has that same look, kind of the same crazy hair,
Mhm.
and that hooded jacket.
Do you think at this point Obi-Wan would have had to have closed himself down from the Force? Out
I
of
think.
necessity?
I think
I think yes, because
he
he's
doesn't
so
want to be
close.
found.
Yeah, he's so close to Luke at some point. Obviously, I think that he had to cut the cord.
Okay.
I disagree. I mean, I think that one of the things that Yoda gave him to practice at the end of Revenge of the Sith was the teachings of Qui-Gon to make himself one with the Force when he died, and clearly he had years to master that. So I don't think he was totally closed off. I think he figured out how to kind of suppress his Force signature, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda did it by hiding on Dagobah, where there was such a strong Force presence that he couldn't be picked out.
Good point.
Clearly, that's probably not the case with Tatooine. So I think that it would be interesting if
that's
they explore that.
Dagobah was rich in the dark side, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was also, well, I mean, in Legends, there was also a Dark Jedi who had fled there and been stranded and died. So there was that Force, that dark side Force nexus, plus the Cave of Evil that Yoda was living in close proximity to. Was he kind of hid in the umbra of that? I guess you'd call it. Who's playing with their lightsaber?
Sorry.
This is kind of cool. The Inquisitor is looking in someone's attic and looking at the inscriptions. Can you read any of that? Any of that make sense?
Great and right.
None of it's Horbash.
It says
I can give you that
Obi
much.
was here, 1979.
For a
See
good
it.
time.
And
Queen
a
Amidala.
question mark.
I
Who do we think this is?
don't know, but they're putting a lot of attention on this chick.
Mm.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. You see the kind of heavily cowled jacket that this guy's wearing, and this looks very much like the same character. I get the feel that they're chasing him through whatever the planet this is, and then he escapes them and gets tracked down on Tatooine.
Mm.
It's Andor.
And
No.
then
I'm
because
joking.
I
they
wish.
sense something or something happens on Tatooine, then now they're looking for Obi-Wan. Is that what you mean?
Right. No, I mean that would make sense, right? This is what draws them to Tatooine. We know that Owen Lars is in the crowd that sees potentially this guy get executed by the Inquisitors, which makes me believe that he probably, if he has that much attention and was able to escape them, must be a former Jedi or Padawan.
There's some graffiti on the wall to the right next to Bravo. It almost looks like it says Doom. Can you read that?
Just barely
Rob?
see it.
Yeah.
Next to me on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my stuff's too dark.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
right
too dark.
there in white.
You'd have to,
Okay.
you'd have to
I
lighten
kind of
that up.
see it. Yeah,
here.
right there. Yeah, I kind of see it.
At the
Almost-
left hip of the
That's like a almost a angular J, which would be if it has the little flare on top would be an M. It's hard to see.
Yeah,
It's not in English, I'll tell you that much. If there's graffiti there, it's in Orbesh. So
absolutely.
lighten it up. Focus, Ro. Come on.
Tina doesn't want me playing with my lightsaber on camera. this was these birds here, or whatever this is supposed to be. Now I know it's not the owl, but have we seen the live action representation of the creatures that were in Rebels?
Oh, the condor?
Right. There's
Yeah.
the long-tailed bird or whatever. Have we seen those in?
No,
Oh, no.
no, but I don't think that's
live
them.
action.
I mean,
No?
I like where your head's at.
They're space
Oh, they do
pigeons.
have that- But they do
There's-
have that
yeah.
long tail. I
This
see
is
why
what-
you're thinking that.
But
The
they're a little different though.
Doesn't it appear that this is important? Not that, oh, we're just letting a bunch of birds go. Like, I don't know. It just, the focus of some of these shots, there's
Right.
more there than we know yet. And I think this one's, I don't know, those birds for whatever reason.
I just think the
Be
birds
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything. I think the birds are part of the city environment. There was an explosion that happened on the roof. The
And
birds
they're
happened to be there,
escaping from
and
the
it just
zoo.
gives them an atmosphere, I guess.
Yeah, some things we could be reading into it too much.
Won't be on Rob's podcast.
But this is all just going to stay on the Scarif Live channel. I gave up this being on JTL. So,
Oh, well, good.
So what you
There
did?
it goes, yeah.
filth it up. I'll just me and Bravo will do a separate show later.
Yeah, there we go.
So this seems
There
to be
he
the final shot of the trailer, and he's very pensive. I almost thought he was going to grab his lightsaber and ignite it or walk away or something, but
Oh, I was just gonna say a really dirty joke.
All of a
Say it.
sudden, Chantal's like, "Oh, I'm not going
I
to."
was gonna say, I'll grab his lightsaber.
As I want.
did you guys notice the eye in Kenobi?
Yes,
Lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
it's going to be here in about 2 months.
Cute.
I have a spot for it now that I took
It's
the other one
beautiful.
cabinet.
Skinamax.
I gotta say, I do love the hilts, collecting those of the lightsabers. That's pretty cool. This takes up a lot of space.
I need
It
a
does.
legit saber.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
There's going to be a running saber battle in the street at the Red 5 house at ScarifCon this year.
I
I'm gonna
love my
bring 'em all.
Toys R Us. That was my favorite part. I loved that part.
Yeah.
That was my favorite
Pretty-
part.
Pretty
Yes.
inventive.
I loved it. I thought that was really cool, actually.
You know, it
Good
harkens
job on
back
that,
to.
Disney.
Do you guys remember the logo for Lucas Arts?
Mhm.
The little
Yeah.
guy, and then.
Yep.
Um,
Now we're talking about the for those of you who are listening potentially and not watching the saber kind of cutting the Disney Plus swath on the closing screen.
yeah.
What?
So
Why did it take them so long to come up with that?
well, they were saving it for the best. You know?
Yeah, I think they
mean,
were.
you know, the Mandalorian. You know, it wouldn't make sense lightsaber going across the screen like that. Boba Fett wouldn't make sense. I think they used it perfectly well. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And I think, yeah, if they put I don't know, maybe a lightsaber would have ruined Luke's entrance in Mando.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't point out for the folks watching or listening that did not know this that Ewan McGregor is actually the nephew of Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge Antilles in the original
Yes.
trilogy, and reprised his role in Rise of Skywalker. So I love the
For
fact
5
that
seconds.
Right. I love the fact that he kind of has ties to OT Star Wars, and I love more the fact that Ewan McGregor, and I think one of the reasons why the series is such a big deal, is that he had such respect for Sir Alec Guinness that he actually hired a speech coach when he got cast for the prequel trilogy to work on delivering his lines kind of in
Oh.
that same cadence and that same style that Sir Alec Guinness had done in the original film. So he clearly loves Star Wars. He clearly has a respect for it. And when he is on screen playing the role of Obi-Wan, that just resonates. I almost feel like it's contagious to all the other people on screen with him.
Yeah.
That
Has
they
to
kind
be.
of sense, yeah, they sense that he
Yeah.
is so serious about this character, and Lord knows he's been begging for this role
Oh,
to be brought back for years. I mean, there are, I think at one point he'd even made like a fan trailer for a potential Obi-Wan series, and started
he
it.
wanted
So
this to be called Hello There.
right, hello there.
Obi-Wan, what is it? Rom-com.
But I've been saying the same as Rob, that that's one thing that I've liked about like the Marvel movies or the DC movies or Star Wars is I like it when you can tell that the actors actually know the material. Like you said, Ewan McGregor is actually a fan. And it's been quoted so many times that when he got cast for Phantom Menace and they first started doing, you know, his scenes with the lightsabers, that he would literally make the sounds as he was doing. Like he was just that into it, and it really does show. And it's true. His inflection is perfect. He sounds so identical to Alec Guinness. It's amazing to me.
If Brad were here, I would have him remind us the name of this creature. I think it's in
the Opie.
there you go.
It's in the Opie. Yeah.
Isn't this the creature that passed gas in episode 1?
Probably.
Yep.
The things I remember.
Yep. It's also the same creature he was riding when he came to deliver Luke to the.
So
Owen
that's still
and
around. That's really cool that it's, you know, they've created a little companion.
It still has them, yeah.
Flatulence.
That would be cool.
Flatulence.
Great,
EOP.
It's
All right, let's
his
watch
ride
this.
and his girlfriend.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch this trailer again for the kids. Let's.
I hate to say it, but I hate the original. Why am I getting feedback? This initial scene is such an evoked feeling of Last Jedi. The rocks vibrating, and I almost threw up.
All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna unmute the audio so we can listen.
Oh, Rob
Rob
doesn't know that there's an echo.
Yeah, he knows now.
Yeah.
You are my brother, Anakin.
Ooh, that was good.
It was
Trying
actually
so
really
hard not to tear up.
I know. You know, it's again just the
crying.
music,
I really am.
the visuals. This is gonna be good. Scariff Live on Saturdays after May 25th is gonna be the place to be. So everyone in the chat, mark your calendars. May 25th, and the weekend after that, until that series is over, we will be talking about the book of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sorry.
What, don't you
Obi.
dare.
I'm wondering how
Out of your damn mind.
The simple fact of the matter is that no matter how you feel about any of the Star Wars saga films, whichever one's your favorite, whichever one's your least favorite, the one kind of unifying factor across all 9 of them is that John Williams did the music for all of them, and every last one of them was masterful. I mean, it's just a simple fact that he was the person that informed the emotion that you felt in every given scene about each of those films. So it's going to be a huge loss when he's gone. I mean, I'm hoping that he lives to be like 270.
Well, we've certainly felt it during the different movies, and you can there are heartbeats, but we know that it's different. It just feels different. I mean, even with the Mandalorian and the uniqueness of I forget his name. I can't pronounce it anyways, but the uniqueness of
Keynote? Or no, sorry.
No, the
not Mando. Oh God.
I forget his name. Norwegian or something.
Göransson. Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
Right. The music is iconic because it is Mando now, and of course when it plays in Book of Boba Fett, we go, "Oh."
Right.
But it's not John Williams. It's just different. It's good separately, but it's not quite Johnny.
As soon as I heard the music, I was already instantly transported. That was it.
Now that we're back to did John Williams do the music for the show, or did John Williams just do the music for the trailer?
He did
'Cause
the main.
that's
He did the music for the main theme. I guess it's
Mhm.
only. I think it's only one track, just like he did the main theme for Solo,
Hmm.
and
Oh,
then
okay.
somebody else did the rest of the score. It's the same thing here.
I
I do
mean,
have to say that I completely agree. I mean, Goranson is his own creature.
Mhm.
He has his own feel and his own kind of take on things. But Rogue One, for a film that evoked all the feelings of OT Star Wars, and to have that be scored by Michael Giacchino, and to have him do that in, I think it was 4.5 weeks, he had to create that entire
Mhm.
score for the film, and he tied in all of the most important elements of what Williams had created, and then kind of wrap that into his own twist on Star Wars. Um, for someone who's not John Williams, I thought that was amazing. But it gives me hope. I mean, we have an entire generation, probably two generations at this point, of people coming up as composers and people who are going to be scoring films for years to come. That uh, John Williams had to be a huge impact on who they developed into. So um, it's not John Williams, but there's still he's going to live on through another generation or two of other composers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go around the table here and ask everybody what your favorite part of the trailer was before we take off. We've been at it for about an hour 19. We want to
Oh,
thank all of our chat friends and say thank you. But favorite part of the trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi from General Shinobi. What do you think? Would you like?
I loved all of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to pick a scene, honestly.
Or
Pick one.
what favorite what feeling did it bring to you watching it? I know we get all emotional and stuff, and this is where it's we're back to an original trilogy character, a prequel actor.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I think everybody is hoping that they don't mess this up because I heard Salty and Vader talking about it on their stream earlier today. It's almost like this is the final chance that Disney has to try and make something that will universally be appealing to everyone across the board here.
I can't imagine why Disney would want to even take the chance to fuck up this character. I mean, for me, Kenobi has always been my favorite. I mean, he is the first Jedi I see in the original trilogy, so I've always had that connection. He will
Mm-hmm.
always be my favorite Jedi, no matter what people think about how he treated Anakin. He will always be my favorite. So I'm super excited for this show. I think they're going to do a good job. I like that it's most likely going to connect into obviously to the original trilogy, and anything that connects well to the original trilogy, I love. That's why I loved Rogue One so
Mm-hmm.
much. It really was perfect in tying into the original trilogy. So I don't see how they'll mess this up. Honestly, also because Ewan McGregor loves playing this character so much and has so much respect for this character, I can't imagine he would have even agreed to come back and even take that risk of being on a shitty Kenobi show. I know money
Right.
talks, but
yeah,
I'd
I
like
don't
to
think it
think that
talks that loud.
I don't
Yeah.
think he would have just signed on for anything, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I
Yeah.
think we're in for a really really great ride.
Bravo. What do you think?
My my favorite part was everything that pulled from Fallen Order. I really like that. I really like the proximity to the game. I really like the aspects that were used in the Inquisitors for the game, and then how we're moving forward with that. I do like knowing that there's something closer to Kenobi that we can also the little connective tissue. I mean, we're 10 years after um, what do you call it, episode 3, and then 9 years
Right.
before episode 4. So I do like the proximity of that connective tissue. I think for me as a gaming fan, I think that's going to I hope it pays off with Cal or any of the other characters or
Mm-hmm.
whomever from the game. I think that would be cool.
Well,
Very
and when
nice.
they get into new Star Wars shows that uh, that aren't Skywalker saga, but tie into it and have that feel. It's in this wheelhouse, right? It's this period between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope that 20 years that we don't know everything that happened, and there's so much that could have happened. But Ro, kind of to your point, what the best part was. My first reaction, the first thing I said was live action Inquisitors. I was thrilled to see that, but truly, it has to be the fact that you've got the Battle of the Heroes and Duel of the Fates being the primary musical cues in this trailer. And when you look at the overall Star Wars saga, I mean, you're talking about two of the best live action lightsaber duels that we ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
It was everything that we ever wanted to see in the OT. Finally got delivered in the prequel trilogy with regard to some Force user versus Force user lightsaber combat, and certainly Ewan McGregor was central to both. So I'm looking forward. I certainly think he's going to be whipping out the lightsaber at some point in this series, and we're gonna get some of that.
Very nice.
Chantal's
Yeah.
trying not to laugh. I said that specifically.
I
for
winked at
her.
the camera.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to May 25th. I'm looking forward to seeing what this series has to offer. And, of course, looking forward to discussing it with friends and followers. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. Last minute impromptu Scarif Live with our friends Rob and 97 Bravo. Check them out. Don't forget to hit like on this video. Tell a friend. Tell two friends. Why don't you go and tell your entire family to join us on Scarif Live whenever we do one of these things. And speaking of family, you can find the rest of the Red 5 family, which our esteemed guests are part of. Check out Red 5 Network Twitter and .com and the bio link that has been wonderfully set up for you to explore by our friend, our resident extra techie. Thank you very much for that. I don't know, Rob, if you wanna close out your show, and then we'll pause, and then we'll close out Scarif Live. That would be
we can just
perfect.
go ahead and close out Scarif Live. I can't use any of this for JTA. It's not my format. I'm totally fine, dude. I was just happy to talk trailer, and certainly anything Red 5 is what I'm all about. So it's not about one show; it's about community.
Excellent. Thank you, my friend. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much. We'll check you guys out later. Make sure to hit subscribe to all of our wonderful podcasts. Take a listen. And Shanti, what else we got to say?
I don't know. That's the scuttlebutt.
That's the scuttlebutt. Yes.
Let's get to the music, man.
On 3, our best did we start with Kenobi or Hello There? I forgot.
We started with Hello There.
All right. So tomorrow we are going to release our lightsaber episode with guest Rob. In that, we do a little funny little Kenobi thing. So let's give everybody a preview on 3, our best Darth Maul Kenobi. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Kenobi!